If you are struggling with anxiety or depression, I'm going to show you exactly what you can be eating on a daily basis that science shows can make a significant improvement in how you feel. Millions of Americans struggle with symptoms of depression, guilt, hopelessness, distress, low moods, depressed moods, helplessness, feelings of worthlessness, just a loss of interest in life and work and what we're supposed to be engaged with, or feelings of just a lot of pressure, a lot of doom, a lot of gloom. It's very prominent in today's world. You're not alone. And these can be really driven by a lot of life occurrences. Health conditions don't make them any better. Chronic pain, sleep issues, inflammation all make depression worse. There's even medications that make depression worse. I'm going to show you what those are. If you're struggling with anxiety, restlessness, panic attacks, difficulty concentrating, irritability, increase or decrease of your appetite, fatigue, weight gain from a lot of stress, if that's you, I'm going to show you what you should be eating, can be eating to aid, whether it's a depression or an anxiety or a combo of both. Here's what to avoid. There are several medications that make both of these conditions worse, and then I'm going to cover my top 5 foods that are going to help you to feel better right away today. Medications that cause depression are acne medications, which is just acne itself can depress people. The medication does. Birth control, think about how many women are on that and the correlation there of taking birth control, your cycle, and depression. High blood pressure drugs and even cholesterol drugs can create cognitive impairment, which leads to depression. Now, from an anxiety standpoint, antidepressant medications can create anxiety. So this is why drugs are so dangerous and why I want to help so many of you choose the right foods to make health simple so you don't have to rely on these. Antidepressants give a stimulation to the system, but that can lead you all the way to a stimulation of anxiety. Also, any medication with caffeine in it can make anxiety worse. Corticosteroids, ADHD drugs, asthma medications, thyroid medications, seizure drugs, and drugs for Parkinson's. If you're on any of those and you're struggling with anxiety, please don't just rush to add another pill to the mix. Consider talking to your doctor about those. I can't give you a health consult here. Obviously, you want to seek a doctor's attention for how to use a medication, but it might be that your anxiety or depression is just caused by those. Now, once some of those things are out of the way, let's talk about some of the lifestyle factors, some of the environmental factors that are driving these choices. Primarily, I want to talk about the foods, but there's simple things you can be doing. Like, did you know there was a study just down the road from me, Duke University Medical Center, did a study, and a brisk 30-minute walk or jog around a track or in your neighborhood 3 times a week can be just as effective at relieving the symptoms of major depression than a standard pill would, than a standard drug. So moving your body, extremely important. So I could go deep into the lifestyle side of things. If you need help getting started on a lifestyle, check out the resources below. It'll help you to take that next step and to really start experiencing real health. But what can you eat? My top 5 foods for anxiety and depression. Here we go. Number 1, walnuts. A quarter of a cup of walnuts, 26% lower depression scores when the group and the study ate a quarter of a cup of walnuts. You could do that right away today. You could blend them up even and put them into a smoothie if you wanted to, or get creative and put them in a salad. 26% lower depression scores. Number 1 food, walnuts. Number 2, blueberries. I love blueberries. Take a half. Take a half to 1 cup per day of blueberries. They not only increase your serotonin, which is your happy hormone, but they also increase the expression of the SKA2 gene. Now, I don't need you to remember that gene, but that gene is known as the suicide gene. Thereby, when you eat blueberries, it has been shown that it protects you from the expression of that gene. Therefore, when you eat blueberries, it increases the expression of that gene. And people that have suppression of that gene have been shown to have increased depression, higher suicidal rates. So blueberries actually help you to enhance that gene to express itself, protects against PTSD and depression and anxiety symptoms. Blueberries. Try to get them natural or organic, or go pick your own. Number 3, fat. My favorite fat, I have a favorite fat. You might not have favorite fat. You don't like fat. Not this type, but the type that you eat, is omega-3s from fish. Omega-3s from fish are high in DHA and EPA. They improve anxiety and they decrease the symptoms of depression. So they make anxiety better, meaning it relinquishes it, and also helps you fight off depression. Now they can easily travel through and to the brain. They can cross the blood-brain barrier. That's why I love them for any kind of mental health issues. They interact with mood-related molecules in the brain to enhance them. They also have anti-inflammatory actions that might help relieve depression because it lowers inflammation. Number 4, antioxidants. The lower the antioxidants, the more anxiety and depression. Let me say that again. The lower the antioxidants in your body, the more anxiety and depression you will have. That's from a 2014 study in Current Neuropharmacology. The number one source, this is going to shock you, of antioxidants for Americans, your number one source, number one way to get this in, coffee. Coffee, by far, not even close. Coffee is the number one source of antioxidants. Now, not all coffee is built and made the same. I actually have one sitting next to me here. To enhance the properties of antioxidants, you want to have a superior source of the processing and the source of the bean of the coffee to enhance its properties of antioxidants. So if this is going to be our number one source of antioxidants, Folgers isn't getting it done. Poor quality processed coffee, we want shade grown, or we want organic coffee, and that's going to get the most out of the antioxidants. Finally, number 5, gut food, sauerkraut, apple cider vinegar, fermented food, kimchi, kefir, probiotics, the food that the gut lives off of and loves. 95% of your body's serotonin, the happy hormone, is made in the gut. Bad gut environment, poor nourishment to the gut, lack of serotonin production, downregulation of mental health. What you eat, could it be the poor foods that are going in are not cultivating a proper gut, not cultivating serotonin, and that's what's depressing you? That's what's making your anxiety worse? Put some gut food in and find out. These are my 5 anti-anxiety, depression helping superfoods that are very easy to put into your system. Now, that's the mental side of it for eating. That's the movement side of it, will also help your mental health.